and mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Okay. So mental well-being, we know it's truly crucial because when we have a balanced mental well-being, it's going to affect our happiness, our success, even our physical health. Because when we are not healthy mentally, no matter how rich you are, you cannot enjoy your life. Maybe because you have some kind of distress, you have kind of anxiety, and you cannot feel life in your well-being. So it's going to be really affect overall things in your daily basis. And today we're going to learn about the strategies. Okay. So why I put the coping strategies and self-care as a one combination? Because when we are trying to learn the coping strategies and also the self-care, we are going to learn how we can manage our life. We know that we can't predict what's going to happen in this world. Okay, sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad thing happens, and when there is kind of even a crisis or maybe some kind of pressure from school, from parents, from family, from friends, how we can manage it. And that's where we have to learn all of this to be able to face the challenges that we are having in this world, because we know that mostly the suicide cases, for example, they taken their life because they cannot anymore hold the maybe the heavy pain in the self, and also maybe they got some pressure in some external factors. That's why we have to learn the coping strategies, and we have to learn also about the self-care, because it's really important to care about yourself first before we want to promote about mental well-being to other people. We know that self-care is kind of activities that we usually do to maintain or to improve our physical, mental, and also emotional well-being. And once we want to practice self-care, it means that we have to be accountable for any kind of the steps that we want to take action or we want to step forwards again. And why do we need to do to maintain good mental health? Because there are some factors and some reasons that are going to be really important for us to take a highlight. So we are not going to ignore the balance of our mental well-being. The first thing is stress reduction. So when we are engaging in self-care activities such as exercise, mindfulness, or any kind of lovely hobby that you usually do, then you can reduce the stress level, because once you do any kind of activities that you love, you are trying to reduce the stress. You become more happy, you become enjoy, you forget what actually happened. But when you are sad, for example, you got a bad mark at the class, or maybe your parents mad at you because you got a bad mark, and you try to isolate yourself, you stay at your room, for example, then it's going to even add more stress. That's why when you feel off, you have to on yourself. You can do exercise, you can do lift, you can try to do any kind of activity. And when you feel like so much thing running on your mind, you have to turn off yourself. And how can we turn off ourselves? You can do meditate, you can do a yoga, you can do any kind of the activity that you feel it's going to chill your soul. And then the other thing is emotional regulation. Once we practice our self-care practice, we are learning how we can balance our emotional, because when we are trying to balance our emotional reaction, for example, it's going to prevent us to build up a negative emotions, which is can truly reduce the risk of mental health issues. Because once we feel get mad at something, probably you're going to go into the other state of madness. So it's going to be even worse than what you have expected or what you have never expected before. Next is, of course, prevention of burnout, because sometimes you got so many homework, maybe if you're a university student, or maybe you have so many tasks from work, from school, and then so much activity that you have to be finished in a certain way. And when you don't try to maintain your self-care, you are going to feel burnt out in a particular time. That's why it's really important to maintain our self-care, because sometimes we need a break. even if we got a deadline. Maybe you got a deadline for your homework, you got a deadline from your tasks at work, for example. Because when we talk about burnout, it can truly affect our mental health. And once we feel burnout, mostly it's going to lead to anxiety and even depression. Okay, it's not going to finish your work, your homeworks as soon as possible, but it's going to make you even more gap than the duration that you have to finish. Next is improve self-esteem. Taking care of yourself when you are trying to make a positive change or positive steps in your life, it's going to boost your self-esteem. And then once you can boost your self-esteem, you can have a better mental well-being. Because yeah, when you got an anxiety, when you got stress, depression, you lose your self-esteem. You tend to be maybe insecure in some type of ways. So it's not going to be good in your daily basis. The last one is enhanced resilience, because we are trying to tackle the challenges that we face in our lives, then maintaining the self-care is going to teach us how to be resilient. Many things are going to happen in our lives, and that's okay. That's our lesson, and we have to face it. We have to truly step into forward about what's going on. We are getting reminder that we are having the situation in the present moment. We have to be mindful in the present moment rather than so busy thinking about what happened in the past. So when we talk about the self-care, maybe you often heard that self-care is not selfish. It's true, because when people maybe try to put it into a toxic behavior, maybe their self-care is something too much. But when it comes to a regular or normal self-care, it's actually truly normal, not selfish. Because you as a human, no matter what kind of the background that you are having, you have to put a boundaries. And that's the your boundaries is the place where you might seem selfish for certain people when they don't understand, and you might also feel like, okay, it's actually fine to have all of these things. And then once you are trying to prioritize your well-being without feeling guilty, without feeling any kind of the stigma, then you can feel grounded, you can feel better to contribute to the society, to the community, or even to have a clear mind to yourself. Okay, so I'd like to make sure that all of you are here with me. I saw that some of you love the chat present in here, but I'd like to know, have you ever felt burnout? Maybe because you got so many tasks, so many homework at the school. Maybe you have truly got some.
The mic is not working again, please. Can't hear you.
Diana, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Titilayo, your hand is raised. I don't think she can hear us. Oh, okay. think she's also having network issues.
Okay, am
I
I
think she's
audible?
back. Yeah, yeah, you're audible now.
Okay, I apologize. I'm trying to share the screen. Okay, I'm trying to sharing the screen. I hope it's visible
Yes, it
and
is.
audible. Okay,
Yeah.
apologize for the inconvenience. I'm going to continue it. So the key point for us to maintain the self-care is, of course, we're going to prevent ourselves for burning out. Because when we neglect the self-care, then later or sooner you're going to feel burnout, which is really not really good for you. Even if it's for the short-term consequences, no matter what kind of the action, if we hold ourselves, okay, I'm okay, and you try to tell yourself that you are okay, but actually you feel I'm not okay inside, and you try to ignore the sign that your body sends to you, then maybe later you are going to find yourself into a more difficult situation. Maybe you might lose your mind. Okay, next is enhancing productivity. So once we are trying to engage in self-care, we can get a better concentration, which is going to balance with our energy. When you don't have a good mental well-being, you're not going to get enough concentration for any kind of the things that you are doing. And then when you can maintain this, it means that you can be the best version of yourself. That's the point, that mostly some kind of the mental health issue stop ourselves for being creative. For example, just because they cannot concentrate for more than 2 hours, they cannot concentrate enough for simply 1 hour. So it's really important for us to maintain this. And then of course, when we maintain our mental well-being and self-care, we are going to have a good relationship with other people. You're not going to isolate yourself. You are willing to open with other people. You are willing to make a connection, collaboration, and also showing your empathy to them. But when you even have a mental health issue, for example, you cannot show your empathy. Maybe other people might think you are a cold person, you don't care about the people around you, but actually that's
My
not
phone.
inside yourself. Maybe what happened. Okay, apologies to all participants. Can you please mute yourself? Okay. Okay, Mr. Buki, please mute yourself. So it's really important also for us to set boundaries, because our boundaries is going to help us to prevent or to set us not getting a burnout. Because let's say you don't even know how to say no. You keep accepting so much tasks, you keep accepting maybe two out of the work that you don't have to do. For example, maybe you are willing to working more even without getting paid more. You don't know simple how to say no, you don't have a boundaries. And when you don't have a boundaries, people are going to take advantage of you, and it's going to lead you to burn out, which is not really good for yourself, even for the short term. So, first, strategies that I like to share in here to maintain our well being is establishing a routine. Because when we are trying to establish a routine, we can get stability and predictability. I'm not going to talk about like who you're going to predict everything. At least when we have a routine, we can predict when this thing is going to finish. How long do I usually take to finish this kind of a task? How long that I need to maybe get extra hour or get an extra minute to finish specific things. So this is going to be really help you to become more efficient in a time management, because once you have a routine, you are going to hold yourself accountable, which means that you are going to lead to a sense of accomplishment. And when you, let's say you have a list things to do, and then you write down what things that you want to do today, and then you mark it's done, it's done, it's done, then you feel happy because you have done what you need to do. But when you don't know actually what you need to do, I do believe some people often say that I have so much things to do, but they don't know what actually the first thing they have to do, like so much things running on their mind. But okay, do I have to do this first, do I have to do the other thing first? They simply get lost on their mind because so much things going on. And that's actually because we don't hold ourselves accountable. That's why we need to make a to-do list. We have to organize ourselves, we have to establish the routine too, so we can manage our time into a good manner. And next is be consistent. When you practice self-care, any kind of the self-care is not only about putting a mask on your face before you go to bed, having 8 hours of sleep every day. No, self-care is not only in that way. Self-care also means that any kind of activity that you are doing for yourself for maintaining your good well-being. Maybe for you, playing a guitar or singing or maybe having a karaoke is going to give you really pleasure, reduce the stress, then you can count it as your self-care practices. Every individual in this world is unique. My self-care might be different with your self-care, and that's okay. We don't have to judge what other people are going to love to do. Okay. And then we, whatever that we are loving to do, we have to maintain the consistency, because that's the key, not only in self-care but in all the things that we are going to do. Consistent is the key. So next is tips for developing and maintaining a daily routine. This is for the procrastinator. This is also for people who sometimes get lost on their mind. First, you need to identify the priorities. Okay, you need to start from the most important tasks that contribute to your mental well-being. Maybe this can include the self-practice and also time for relaxation or meditation before you go to bed, or doing yoga during the day or in the afternoon. Next is you need to set realistic goals. Once you know what you have to do first, you have to make it realistic. Okay, the thing is we all have expectation, and you have to make a real expectation. I want ABCD, for example. I want to lose some 10 kilos or 5 kilos, and then you need to make a realistic goals. If you want to lose 10 kilos, what you have to eat in a single day, what how many calories you have to burn in a single day. So you have to make it a realistic, no matter what kind of big dream that you have or big plan that you have. If you think it's impossible, then it's actually not impossible. The thing is you only have to chunk it down. I mean, you have to make into the smaller part until you can see the first step that you can take is this way rather than nothing at all. Okay, next is always include self-care activities. You have to allocate at least maybe 15 minutes for practicing deep breathing, or maybe for journaling before you go to bed, or simple for praying 10 minutes, or for showing your gratitude what you are grateful today. It's truly important to maintain in this a daily routine. Next is, of course, establish consistent sleep pattern, because when you don't have enough sleep, it's going to distract your concentration. It's going to maybe make your brain memory doesn't work in the best in the best thing. So you need to set the bedtime and also the wake up time to regular, and then make it such a working in the right time. But let's say you have some urgent things that you need to do, still you have to prioritize it, whether it's truly important or not, whether it's truly urgent or not. And then once you set all of the plan of the activities, you also need to build the flexibility. Okay, sometimes there is unexpected things, and that's okay. We are living in a constant change. Okay, you don't have to restrict yourself for not wanting to have any change. Okay, next is like what I've said, you have to start small and then gradual. Okay, maybe you have never worked out before, maybe you have never been to the gym before, maybe you have never do yoga or meditation before, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you need to join a 6-month class at the gym, 3 hours meditation master class, or maybe 2-hour yoga. No, it doesn't mean to be like that. Okay, so what we have to do is making what most comfortable for you. Okay, I'm suggesting you to have a daily meditation, for example. You can watch on YouTube a bunch of videos. You can find any kind of the videos, but what most important is which video that make you most comfortable. Is it 5 minutes video? Is it 10 minutes video? Is it 15 minutes video? And the choice is by your own. You can start, okay, ma'am, I'm just really comfortable in 5 minutes in the beginning, because after 5 minutes I lost my mind, I got distracted, and that's okay. You can start by 5 minutes. And if you want to exercise, for example, you just can keep up only for 10 minutes, and that's okay. If you want to walk outside with your dog, with your cat, or with your friends, you simply walk in the park, for example, you can only keep up for 30 minutes, and that's okay, as long as you are doing it with a happiness. I mean, like, with an open arm, you don't feel like you are getting forced doing it, then you going to have the benefits of it. Okay, next is, no matter what kind of things that you are going to do, you need to reflect on your routine and make adjustment as needed. You can make it weekly or monthly. Let's say I have a plan for having a walk in the afternoon for 30 minutes, but during the 7 days, I find it so difficult for doing it, and you can adjust it. Or maybe you feel like 30 minutes doing meditation in the morning is such a difficult thing for me to do. I think I'm going to reduce the duration for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. That's okay. If you want to reduce it into the smaller time or in the shorter time, then it's okay, as long as you keep doing it in consistent time manner. Okay. Okay. Next is the importance of exercise for mental health. Why do we need to move our body? Why do we need to go walk? Why do we need to exercise? Why do we need to go to the gym, lift the heavy weights? Well, when you are doing exercise, you are going to release the endorphin. Okay, your neurotransmitter that act as a natural mood lifter is going to produce in a higher level, and when this happens, it's going to contribute to a sense of well-being, and of course reduce the anxiety and also depression. That's why so many therapies suggest that, if, like I have said in the beginning, if you feel off, you have to turn on your body. You can try to do it with the lifting thing, simple move around, or maybe work out or go to the gym. But when you feel that you need to turn off yourself, you have to simply do journaling, for example, or prayer or meditation. Okay, and exercise is truly important to reduce our stress, because once we do a regular exercise, it's going to reduce the hormone of stress such as cortisol in the body, and this truly help us to elevate the feelings of stress and also promote more relaxation, because yeah, you are happy doing it. That's why I say, like, don't feel you are getting forced for doing, enjoy it, try to enjoy it. Okay, next is improve sleep. When you are feeling tired after workout, for example, your body needs rest. After they got turned on the body, they need to turn it off. So having a sleep, uh, having a good sleep time, it's going to help you improve the overall your sleep pattern too. And the next is enhanced cognitive function. So when you do exercise, it's going to link to improve the cognitive function and mental clarity. Because once you are trying to do exercise, you can enhance your concentration, memory, and the ability to learn and add new information. Okay, like I have said, why do we need to do exercise? Because we are going to release the endorphin. Okay, there is dose of happiness that we can get, which is D stands for dopamine, or oxytocin, as serotonin, and also endorphins. Okay, and when we want to be happy, we need to hack this kind of the things. Okay, when you have a lack of dopamine, you feel procrastination, you feel lack of motivation, you have maybe you feel low energy and also feeling anxious, feeling hopeless. You also have mood swings, and when you have low oxytocin, you mostly feeling lonely, you stress, and you disconnected or isolate with other people. And when you have low serotonin, again, you are going to feel low self-esteem, and you even going to have insomnia, and then you feel hopeless. And when you have a low level of endorphins, mostly it's going to bring you anxiety, depression, mood swings, and even insomnia, and also impulsive behavior. So how can we get our dose of happiness going increase in a good level? If you want to increase your dopamine, you can try to do meditate. You can try to do make to-do lists, like I have said. Try to make something good in a routine manner. Write down on your note, on your journal, on your favorite application, to do list application, about what things that you want to do. And then you have try to make a long-term goals. For example, once you make a to-do list, you mark it, you set a long-term goals for what you are going to do. Okay, and then to increase the oxytocin, you can do something that make you feel love. Okay, you can try to listen to a sweet song. For example, you can have a massage, acupuncture, or even cold shower and meditation. Is going to increase your oxytocin too, because oxytocin is, yeah, love hormone. Okay, so when you feel lonely, it means that your oxytocin level is in the low level situation in that moment. And then when you want to increase the serotonin, okay, you can try to do exercise, cold shower, and having walk outside to simply get sunlight, or even also a massage. So the different things that exercise that we want to do to increase dopamine and serotonin is the time manner. Okay, I mean, like, if you want to get increased serotonin, you have to make it regularly. Okay, maybe if you only do exercise once, if you only do meditate once, then you can increase your dopamine. But if you want to hack the serotonin, you have to make it as a regular routine. Okay, next is endorphin. Okay, endorphin is truly important for us to release a brief euphoria to mask the physical pain. And then you can hack this by maybe having a chit chat with your friends, talking something funny, or watching a funny videos that can make you laugh, or maybe make you cry if it's a sad story. For example, you can simply do art together with your friend, you can exercise together with your friends, you can try to even eat dark chocolate. It's going to increase your endorphin too, but make sure you are going to eat it in the good portion. Okay, having a meditation is going to increase your endorphin too. Okay, so we always can hack this dose of happiness, but the thing is whether you are willing to take this first step, whether you are willing to make it in a routine manner or not. Okay, so the choice is always yours. Okay, so mostly the students feels like they are lonely, they feel like low self-esteem, they feel they got anxiety because so much text, for example. Then please remind yourself to do this kind of hack for those happiness. Okay, next is how can we incorporate our physical activity into daily life? Simple. You can do whatever that you are loving to do. Okay, you can walking outside, you can maybe have a walk outside with your dog, with your cat, or you can also simple do any kind of other activities that you make yourself enjoy, but it's not always have to be an outdoor activities. It can be indoor activities. Even if you are love to do maybe some kind of art, then it's okay. You maybe you want to make some paintings, it's going to make you to feel enjoy and calm, and that's okay. Okay, no matter what kind of the things that you are willing to do, please start in a small manner so you don't feel burnt out since the beginning. And then once you feel comfortable, you can gradually increase, whether it's the amount, whether it's the duration. Okay, maybe if you are going to go to the gym, you only want to lift only 2 kilos, and once you're comfortable, you can increase it 3, 5, 6, and so on. It's also same with the duration of doing what you love. It can be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and until an hour. Okay, the choice is always yours. And always remember, consistency is the key. Okay, and then you can incorporate physical activity throughout the day. Let's say, oh, mom, I have so much homework. I cannot do another activities because after the school time, after the lesson at the university, I already feel so tired, and that's okay. Don't worry, you can still do any kind of physical activity. Instead of use elevator or lift, you can try to take the stairs when you are going to the go to the classroom, for example. When you have to maybe go to some near place, maybe usually you use a car or motorcycle, you can try to walk or use your bicycle. So this kind of activity is actually part of your daily life, so you always can incorporate this physical activity. And then you can also mix the cardio and strength training. It depends on your goal, if you want to build muscle or if you want to simple maintain the well-being. Okay, next is outdoor activities if it's possible. Okay, maybe in some places now is raining or too cold, you are not comfortable, and that's okay, you can still move your body at home. Okay, it's not the maybe it's not the excuses for not having a good balanced physical activity. Okay, next is the importance of social relationship on mental health. Why do we need to associate ourselves with other people? Because when we are having a good social relationship, it's going to provide the emotional support during challenging times. Okay, maybe right now you're going to give a hand for your friends. One day, yes, maybe yes, we have never able to predict anything, right? Maybe tomorrow, 2 days later, it's you. It's your turn to get the help or to get the support from the other people. So always be nice when you have a chance to give a hand, to give a hug, to be a good listener for your friends, because we never know what is going to happen in the future. Okay. Next is reduce risk of mental health issues. When we are feeling we are not alone, we don't have any kind of societal thoughts. But when we are feeling, oh my god, so much things going on in my life, I am lonely, I am alone, no one wants to help me, then those kind of societal thoughts are going to enter your mind. But when you have a good social support, no matter what kind of difficulties that you are having, your friends, your colleagues, your family are going to remind you that that's okay, you're going to pass this thing. That's why it's really important to maintain this social relationship. But if you are having a mental health issues, then it's going to be difficult. That's why we need to do a self-care. Okay, and then Self-care is also going to make us get a buffer against stress. It means that there are people to turn during difficult times that can help individual cope more effectively. Okay, maybe it's not only about yourself. Maybe some other people also facing the same difficulty with you, and you can help them to cope by sharing your personal experience to that person, which can really give a buffer against the stress. When you are trying to share, people are feeling, I'm not alone. And that's okay. If other people can face it, I can face it too. But please don't be a person with such a toxic positivity. Okay. When someone is feeling safe, when they feel sad, for example, don't always say, it's okay, you are strong. It's good manner actually, but you have to be realistic too. Don't become a person with a toxic positivity. It means that maybe you are only giving such a false or empty hope to that person. You can encourage that person, but you also have to contribute to give some kind of advice, for example. So it's going to be realistic rather than unrealistic hope to them, because sometimes those false hope is going to lead to another level of mental health issues. Okay, it's really important to maintain it. So how can we build and maintain the supportive connection? Please, you can always initiate and also nurture relationship. Okay, you can join the club, class, groups, or maybe you are joining any kind of community that having a shared common with you, so you are going to enjoy do the things together with them. Next, make sure quality over quantity. Okay, focus on the quality of your relationship rather than quantity. Okay, a few meaningful connection or friends can be more beneficial than large but superficial social network. Okay, then if you want to have a good social connection, you have to be a good listener. Don't always hope people are going to listen to you, but please be an active listener. Be a good listener to practice that. How can you listen other people feeling? Showing empathy is truly important to maintain and also balance our social connection, which is going to build a good bonding between you and other people. Next is always try to express gratitude. Okay, because when we are expressing a gratitude, positive social connection, it's going to be on another level. Like, I'm grateful for having you as my friend because you bring such a lot for me. You bring such a happiness for me. When I was alone, you were there, blah blah blah. Don't forget to express. It's not too much actually, it's just showing appreciation for them. Next is digital connection. Okay, first we have to maintain the connection between people around us first, but sometimes maybe we want to have a broader connection, and you, as we live in a digital age, we can maintain this digital connection to get a support, to stay in touch with family or friends who are far away from us. We can have phone calls, video chat, or even social media connection with them, but please maintain your screen time. So next is healthy eating. When we talk about self-care, it's truly important for us to maintain what we eat, because when we notice that our brain requires balanced and nutritious diet function optimally, then we are going to eat more vitamins, more fatty acid, more minerals rather than junk food. Okay, and when you have a balanced healthy food, you are going to have a balanced mood. You're not going to have a mood swing, for example. So you need to remind yourself to consume a nutritious diet that can contribute to the production of neurotransmitter. Okay, next is energy level. We have to maintain our blood sugar levels through a balanced diet, because when you consume too much intake about the sugar, then it's going to affect your mood, your concentration, and your overall mental functioning. Next is good brain connection. Okay, the good and the brain are connected, and we got influence on the mental health for this aspect. So a diet rich in fiber and probiotics support a healthy gut. Okay, which is in turn positively impacts mental and well-being too. So how can we maintain a balanced nutritious diet? You can eat variety foods such as vegetable, whole grains, or maybe healthy fats, and you can try to provide essential nutrition for yourself. You can also eat more omega-3 with fatty acids that you can always find in fatty fish, flax seeds, and even in walnuts, because this omega-3 really can lead to the brain health and can have positive effects on your mood. And don't forget to stay hydrated, because when you feel maybe exhausted, you get mood swings. Okay, next is limit to processed foods and sugar. Okay, try to opt for whole unprocessed foods whenever possible, and then moderate caffeine and alcohol consumption. And next is mindful eating. You need to practice eating by paying attention to the hunger and fullness cues, avoiding eating in front of the screen, and savor the flavor and texture of your food. Many people, when the food served in front of you, you are busy taking a picture, you are busy to showing or making or recording a video about how the food looks like, rather than feel the savor of the flavors. Okay, and you can also make the plan and prepare meals. Next is sleep hygiene. You can maintain this because it's important to get a restoration and recovery, because once we sleep, it's going to process for restoration and recovery for what you have been through during a whole day. So when you don't sleep, let's say your body cannot even recover for several things. And then of course, when you get a balanced sleep, you can be able to maintain your emotional reaction, and it's going to increase your cognitive function, and it ends up to reduce your stress level. So how can we develop a good sleep pattern? First, you need to establish a consistent sleep schedule. You can start by go to sleep and wake up at the same time. You can also create a relaxing bedtime routine. It can be reading or maybe stretching or any kind of the relaxation techniques. Maybe you want to do a deep breathing or meditation, or you simply want to avoid stimulating activities such as intense exercise or screen time. Or you can also try to optimize sleep environment. Okay, maybe you feel more comfortable to sleep in a dark room, in a quiet and cool place. Okay, so it's up to you, the choice is always yours. And don't forget to limit your screen time. Okay, 10 minutes or 15 minutes before you try to close your eyes, put your phone away. You can also watch your diet, avoid heavy meals and caffeine and nicotine before the bed, at least 1 hour or 2 hours before it is going to be more helpful. And then manage your stress. And when you want to manage your stress, you can practice meditation or deep breathing to unwind before the bedtime. So, okay, I want to go to sleep, and you can simple sitting or already laying down on your bed, and then you can simple try to take some deep breathing. You can try to inhale and then hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, and then you can try to exhale, and you can repeat it 3 to 5 times before you truly close your eyes. It's going to help you to calm your mind, to forget what's happened during the day. So there is some of common sleep issues. There's insomnia, and you can try to take a CBT1, and maybe you got a sleep apnea. You can try this medical requirements such as a CPAP machine. This is going to get provided by the mental health professional. Or when you want to reduce the RLS, or restless leg syndrome, you can consult yourself to the healthcare professional.
Can you hear me, Jenna?
Yes.
Okay, so you have about 5 minutes for the end of the class, and I don't know if anybody might have question or something.
Okay, but before I'd like to explain about the mindfulness first before we open the Q&A session, okay? So mindfulness, as you can see in the screen, it means that being present, okay, fully engaged in the whatever that you are doing without the judgment, without thinking about the past, without worrying about the future event. Mindfulness means that you are paying attention to, yeah, the texture of the foods that you are having, the person that you are talking to right now, or any kind of the things that related to the present moment. Okay, so when you want to have a balanced mental well-being, you always have to prioritize the mindfulness. Either it's mindful eating, mindful breathing, mindful activities that you actually love to do. Okay, so I will put the last one. Okay, why? Okay, technique mindfulness that we can do. You can try to do mindful breathing. Okay, mindful breathing, it means that you simple focus on your breath, paying attention to the sensation to each inhale and exhale, and you're not going to think much about what happened during the day or what will happen tomorrow. Okay, you can keep repeating 3 to 5 times. And the next is body scan meditation. You can watch more video suggestion on YouTube, but the body scan. You can laying down on the mattress or on your bed, so you can try to focus the sensation that you are having, starting from your toes to your head. So you gradually move to the upper body to feel the sensation when you are trying to inhale and exhale. Or you can try to do a guided imaginary too. It means that you need to visualize a peaceful scene or scenery or memories that you are having in the past, and you are trying to bring the feelings of happiness that you had in the past into the present moment. Okay, because this guided imaginary can be used to create a sense of calm and reduce stress. When you are trying to remember good things, it can bring calmness. But when you're trying to overthinking about the bad thing that happened in the past, then it's not going to be nice. Okay, so I'd like to recommend this 3 step. You have maybe you have seen the PDF. There are some kind of the other mindful relaxation that you can try. So before we end of the session, if you have any question, you can write down in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. I think it's okay to unmute yourself. Present. Okay. So before we end of the session, I'd like to put a conclusion and reminder to all of you that we always need to prioritize our mental well-being, because it's going to affect our physical body, our concentration, and our maybe spiritual journey too. So you have to try your best to allocate your time to do self-care, to do kind of strategies that can truly promote mental well-being, a balanced mental well-being for yourself, so you can be a good role model to other people. Once you practicing it in yourself, and other people are going to say, oh, this person is having a positive attitude, this person is having a good body, yeah, let's say a good mental and then a good physical, then they got influenced by you. They might ask you, what did you eat? Or maybe what did you do in your free time? So without you even realize, you become a good role model to other people. So start from yourself, then you can promote it to other people. Okay, I hope in today's presentation you can get some takeaways, and I open the Q&A session. You're welcome to ask anything related to the presentation in today's session. Okay, is there any question? You can write down in the chat box, or maybe You want to share to me that you have experienced certain things. Maybe you feel burnt out because too many homework from school, or maybe you feel like hopeless because you just got a bad grade from the school, for example, and you feel like people are not going to like it for what you are having right now. Let's not put our feelings like in the box. Okay, your feeling, I'm sure other people might have felt too. Okay, maybe they just didn't share it to you. Maybe you just didn't know it, that those there are so many people outside there who are struggling the same thing with what you have. That's why storytelling or sharing stories is truly important to be a good reminder to others that you are not alone, that we are here together, we can work together, we can build a good social support for all of us. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so because my screen here is showing getting stuck. So because okay, I think I'd like to suggest, if you have any question, please unmute your microphone, and then you can try to ask the question. And when you are joining in such a session like this, it's always good to take the opportunity to speak up, because all of us are having a unique perspective, a unique experiences. Okay, so whatever that you are having, maybe it's going to be a powerful story that can make other people want to join. Okay, Cecilia, please welcome. You can unmute
Good,
yourself, Cecilia.
good afternoon, Ma.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for this section. It's really insightful. Please, I want to ask that um as you said we have to be mindful, as in we need to put it in mind when we want to take care of our own mental and well-being. In situation whereby someone have so many other things to attend to, as in for instance having children to take care of, and at the time in which I want to have my personal rest, that's the time they arise and disturbing me. How can I cope with that?
Okay, thank
Thank
you
you,
so
ma.
much,
That's my
Cecilia.
question.
Thank you so much for the question. Okay, that's why in the beginning I mentioned establish a routine is really important. When I talk about establish a routine, means that you have to prioritize your most important and urgent things to do. I do believe you have so many important things to do. Everyone has so many important things to do, but what most urgent things that you need to do first, so you can let the other tasks or the other things that you need to do, like put aside for a while, for example. So when you are doing that thing, you can focus, because I'm going to do it by 3 p.m., for example. But when you know yourself, you got so many duty, you got so many responsibility to do, you just don't organize it, you don't make a to-do list, you don't make it in an efficient time, then while doing homework, for example, you are going to say, oh my god, I got a geography homework, I got some math homework, I got the other homework. So you are thinking so many things, which means that you are not going to bring yourself in a full concentration and not in mindfulness. Okay, but once you try to allocate your time to be more efficient, to be more specific, I'm going to do my math task by 1 p.m., for example. So at 1 p.m., while doing it, you have geography homework, for example, but you're not going to think about it, because I will finish this by this time. Right now it's a math time. Right now it's English time. Right now it's psychology time. So always try to make a to-do list during the day. Make it yourself, put into accountable responsibility. So while doing one thing, you're not going to get distracted with the other thing. And once you practice to establish the routine, you can feel less heavier. Let's say that you can try to do mindful activities because you know I will do it. I will finish by this time. But again, sometimes unpredictable things happen, and that's where we need to be flexible. But you have to put reminder to yourself. That's okay to adjusting, as long as you still keep doing what you have on plan, but just need to a little bit adjustment. So please make sure you make a to-do list. Make sure you prioritize the most important and urgent tasks to do first before you are starting the other activities. I hope it can answer your question, Cecilia. And thank you so
Yeah,
much for your question.
thank you so
Okay, next is Buki. In an institution where there's no money, no food to eat, no good sleep, please, how can such a person behave normal? Or how will not it affect his or her physical mental health? Thank you. Okay, Buki, thank you so much for your question. I am sure that this happened to many people too. That's why I have said that social support is important. When you feel like I got nothing left in my hand, in my pocket, then where you can try to seek a support. So once, whether what kind of activity that you are going to involve with other people, always be kind, always be respectful. So once you need them, you know you are not going to embrace yourself. You're not going to feel guilty when you try to seek support. And when you maintain a good relationship with other people in the first place, you know that you got a social support. They are going to help you. They are having empathy towards you, as long as you are being a good person to them in the first place, not being a good person or a good friend just when you need it, because they might don't like it, they might hate it because you take advantage of them. Okay, so wherever you are, please be such a social butterfly. I mean, like, yeah, easygoing. Try to be a good listener. When someone try to talk to you, you put the eye contact, you put attention, you maintain the eye contact. You be a good listener, showing empathy, showing respect when you are talking to other people. So once you have that kind of sense, other people can catch your vibes. Oh, this person is polite, this person is nice. So when you are trying to ask for help, then they might don't mind to do that. But when, let's say, like in a bookie question, no money, no food, and then you try to isolate yourself, you feel guilty, you feel embarrassed, then what happened? You end up fall into a trap of maybe poverty, or maybe in the hunger, or maybe in another bad situation. So when you feel like you got nothing to left, then please go outside, go seek the communities, go seek the help for other people around you, maintain a good social support with other people around you. That's why I suggest the social connection. Please join community, join group, because maybe one day we are going to help them back. Who knows? Because this life is such a cycle. Sometimes we are in the up, sometimes we go down. Okay, so please always maintain a good social connection. Okay, Bosa, thanks for the section, Mom. How can one cope with verbal abuse? Okay, when you got a verbal abuse, you have to remind that people can always throw whatever they want. They want to say A, B, C, D things. Maybe they want to hurt you on social media by writing something, shouting to you, and any kind of the things that I'd like to remind you that you need to build resilience. You cannot control what other people think, what other people do towards you, but you always can control how you are going to give a response, whether you are going to give a fight or flight mode. whether you are going to be a person who take a freeze, calm yourself before you give the response to them. Okay, so when uh is it converts into the list? Oh, I apologize. So when you got a verbal abuse, please communicate. Okay, communicate to yourself that whatever that other people say to you is not going to define yourself. Okay, and then when you knowing your self-worth, you are reminding yourself that whatever they're saying, whatever they're doing, it's not going to define yourself, and you have the confidence to speak up. Maybe you can communicate with elder people who are maybe in charge, to talk to that person to have a better attitude, or you can confront it by yourself but in a calm manner, not directly in a fight mode. Okay, next in the to-do list is a completion to add the rest. Yes, because like I have explained before, sometimes you got so many tasks. You can always predict. You are the one who knows your capability. How long does it take to finish my math homework? How long does it take to finish my history homework, for example, based on what you had in the past? I mean, like, yeah, your regular duration for having it. And then once you make a prediction, if it takes longer than your prediction, then it's okay. It means that you need to adjust it, and next time you have to take into the consideration that maybe you're going to change it. So you are not putting hurry, you're not putting so much stress. Oh my god, already 1 hour and I haven't finished it yet. Oh my god, this is going to mess up my other schedule. Please don't be like that. When you put a to-do list, remind yourself that you can always adjust it, but even though you can adjust it, you have to put yourself on track. Means that you're still going to follow the other things. Okay, I hope it can answer your question. Abida, where does use of medicine counts in promoting mental? Well, actually, in promoting mental well-being, and here in my presentation, I don't recommend it medicine use, because when we are having intake medicine, there might be long-term and short-term effects in our body. It's going to affect many things that sometimes not all medicine is going to be have the same effects with each person, with each body. Okay, so for promoting mental well-being, in this case, as this is a beginning case, I suggest please do more physical activity. Either it's maintaining exercise regularly, meditation, yoga, or you are maintaining your healthy balanced diet rather than go directly to take medication. If all the things you have done, let's say it's severe depression, you truly need painkiller, you truly need some kind of prescription, then you can start to ask the professional help. How can I take this, if it's possible or not possible? Okay, so actually, even though I'm a mental health advocate, I don't recommend to use medication, because there is always way that we can do to protect ourselves from chemical stuff. I mean, like, it's going to affect your body. No matter how good the medicine, it's going to have a long-term effect for yourself. So please do take more action that you have to put on accountable for yourself. Either it's exercise, either it's any kind of other activities. Okay, I cannot hear you more. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, okay, thank you so much. Okay, so is there any other question? You can write down in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Thank you so much for all the questions so far. I truly appreciate it. Is there any other